Here we are at the Darlington Raceway for the running of the Southern 300. It's been a wild race in the past, and as we're nearing the chase, this is definitely going to be a wild one. So first, take a look at our starting lineup. On the pole, we have the 09 Patrick Smith. To his outside is John Gambit in the 43. In third, you have Tim Gary. Fourth is Jay Jefferson. Rounding out the top five is Luke Rainey. Then sixth, you have Colton Yo. Seventh is Michael Canto. Eighth, Jake Richardson. Ninth, Evan Hunter. Rounding out the top 10, you got Trey Rainey. The rest of the field goes Julius Harrison, and then you got Carter Friesen. Then Riley Spurley, then Isaac Nichols, Jonathan Buford, and Levi Shones. Then Jake West and Joseph George. Going to look for a different camera angle here. Then we've got JT Hanley and Joe Jefferson, Alex Stewart and Alexander Rowe, then TJ Hanley and Justin Heath, Derek Hamill and Steve Larker, then Tim Randolph and Kyle Hunter, Jay Gambit and Mason Hayward, Tyler Lyman and Max Anderson, Robert Hernandez and Code Luigi, and a nice little Robert Yates throwback. And we got Eli Bright and Jim Gambit, Jeff Samito and Jason Samito Jr., Marcus Sachin throwback, and then Jeff Bright won this race last season, starting way towards the back though. They got Jason Larker and Bracey Collins rounding off the field in 41st and 42nd here tonight, as we now go down trackside to hear the command.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Settle in, relax, take a deep breath. It's a long, hard race. Gotta pace yourself.
42 cars fire up and roll off here at the Darlington Raceway. Egg-shaped oval 1.33 miles around Darlington as the pace car already down to the apron, going to go down pit road 33 laps here at Darlington. It's been wild in the past. This one should be no different. Patrick Smith, one of your front three in points, on pole for this race as they come through 3 and 4, getting set to take the green flag. A slow 47 mile per hour pace speed as they come down the front straightaway. Step on the gas, Patrick Smith. We're racing at Darlington. Good jump there by Patrick Smith. He was able to clear the field as they now come down the backstretch for the first time here tonight. Tim Gary now looking to the inside for second as they hit 3 and 4. This would be the one time during this race where we see cars into the wall the most. In 3 and 4 on lap 1, it looks like most able to stay out. No, it looks like Joe Sandroge got into it just a little bit. Off of 4, Patrick Smith leads lap 1, Tim Gary to second, Luke Rainey up to third, and Michael Canto in fourth. John Gambit gets down line from second to fifth. Evan Hunter there in the 6th position. Jay Jefferson still on the outside. Julius Anderson going underneath him for 7th. Some battles back here towards the back of the top 10. Interesting thing about leading this race, if you make one small mistake in 3 and 4 or 1 and 2, because you're on the edge of out of control. You're just on the edge of control, and one small mistake could ruin your whole race. Because look at how close you get to the wall in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You're so close to it that if you just slip just a little bit, you're going to be in that wall and you're going to lose many positions. In fact, it might make the car even tighter once you hit that wall. 30 to go this time by Patrick Smith from pole. Still out front, but Tim Gary, that car looks like it can rotate well. He cuts that center down to the bottom lane. Not able to make the move on Patrick Smith, but he's shown that he has a faster car. He's right now in second on his back bumper. Luke Rainey behind him, looking for a win to get himself into the chase. He's up in the top 5 in points. This run is exactly what he needs as well, in case he wants to try and get in with the points lead. So many drivers needing wins to get in. And then Tim Gary riding a wave of momentum. He won at Mosport in the Truck Series race just yesterday to get himself into the chase in that series. Looking to create some of that magic here today. Yeah, Gary's car looks like it can get down to the bottom. It looks like it's not as tight as Smith's, and that might hurt Patrick Smith later in the run, especially since it looks like he is tighter. It could possibly wear the tires out even more. Gary once again cutting to the bottom lane. Luke Rainey has gained ground just a little bit. Back there you see Evan Hunter going to the high side. Clears Anderson. Tim Gary with a peak again. This time I think he has a nose under there. Down the backstretch, he has a nose. Tim Gary for the race lead. Smith stuck up top. So starting on pole, Patrick Smith up there in the top 3 in points will lose the race lead to Tim Gary. He slots into second, however, in front of Luke Rainey. Rainey could not make that move work out there. So now can Tim Gary pull away because Patrick Smith came down from Luke Rainey. We saw Smith's car just a little bit slower. Look back at the back of this line. See right there in 11th, Levi Jones, your points leader. He had about, what, a 5-point gap over Max Harrison come to the day and about 12 points over Patrick Smith, so you probably lose it if he finishes there. But a decent day for your points leader. He's probably most likely going to be in the chase. So just trying to get more wins and some consistent finishes. We mentioned Max Harrison was second in points. He's back here in the 37th position. Some cars hitting the wall and such. See some off pace. Jason Spino Jr., Tim Ralph, and Derek Hamill. Now he needs to look at the right side of that car, all scraped up. Remember, he was so close. He was the points leader. He had some issues at Old Spice, and ever since then it's kind of faded backwards. And Hamill now running in the last position, 42nd. And Luigi mentioned he's in that Robert Yates throwback. He wants to do some wonders in that car here tonight. He's running in the 39th position. Not what he wants. Jeff Bright won this race last season. Right now scored in the 35th position. Marcus Sachi and Throwback also back here in the 34th position. So Throwback's not doing wonders for some of these guys here tonight. Patrick Smith back onto the back bumper of Tim Gary, so possibly the draft is just what's helping the guy in second. Oh, look at here, battle for third. Michael Cantor and Luke Rainey. Can he hold it down? There's the question. I think he's going to into turn one. Rainey trying to clear Canto. Couldn't get it done. And now does Rainey lose many positions in the process of falling back. John Gammett's going to get underneath him here in the 43 car. Gammett, remember, started second, so he was doomed from the start, starting on that outside lane. It got down in line in fifth. He's going to go for fourth. That's another position towards the front for that number 43. And Luke Rainey trying to get down in front of Evan Hunter. He might be able to right here as they hit turn one. Julius Harrison stuck to the high side. Hunter gets it underneath Luke Rainey. Jay Jefferson's coming into the front, number one car. He's up to seventh, trying to make it sixth as he gets underneath Luke Rainey as they come down the back straightaway. You just get caught on the high side here, and so much goes wrong once you do that. You get into the wall in 3 and 4, and you're just going to lose many, many positions. The outside lane, not the place to be. Luke Rainey trying to get down in front of the 88, and the one looks like he'll be able to do that. So he gets it behind Jay Jefferson in the 7th position, so from 3rd to 7th there because he got caught on the high side. Battle for second, Michael Canto charging to the front. So he comes down the back straightaway side by side with Patrick Smith. And how about that? Canto just put Luke Rainey back a few positions. He's going to put Smith to the high side. And John Gambett's going to get by to 3rd place. So Gambett charging his way back to the front as Patrick Smith falls to 4th, trying to keep it there. Although Evan Hunter has a run to the bottom lane. Hunter going to move to the 4th position now. Smith back to 5th. Jay Jefferson going for a top 5 now in the number 1 car. 20 to go this time. And Michael Canto is running down that number 51 of Tim Gary. Patrick Smith's going to fall outside the top 5 right here. Jay Jefferson move around him for that 5th position. So Smith just trying to hang tough on that outside lane, trying to clear Jefferson here into turn 1. He's not going to be able to do it, though. Levi shows your points there, getting caught up high. Smith, very slow up high. Going to lose many positions. Levi Shields loses the 11th position. That could possibly be even more positions as he has to let off the corners. A lot of drivers just looking for some solid days here to keep themselves into a fighting chance at a chase, especially Evan Hunter and TJ Hanley. Hunter is on the bubble right now. If someone new wins, that'd be catastrophic for him. He's right now in the 4th position, not bad. Hanley was also on the bubble. He's right now scored in the 23rd position. Not what he wants, but if he can move some guys up high, like JT Hanley and Jake West, he could possibly move through. Talk about JT Hanley. He has slipped as of late. He was in the chase position pretty much this whole season. Oh, Jones, your points leader to the wall hard. Yeah, still up against it. That 38 car is in it hard. Still in it. And that really slowed some people on the bottom lane. Look at Hanley. The two Hanleys battle. JT Hanley gets down to the inside because of that, but Levi Jones, that car is probably all torn up. Look at the right side of that machine. As we look back up front, 3 cars pull away. Tim Gary, Michael Canto, John Gambett. Then Jay Jefferson moves to 4th as Evan Hunter has fallen back on the outside lane. He's still falling back. He was just 6th last time, but he's outside the top 10 now. Just shows how the outside lane, not the place to be. So Jay Jefferson also charging his way up towards the front. Canto's kind of stalled once he got to that 51 car, and Gary's just run a little bit faster laps than them. So we're about halfway through this race. 16.5 laps down, 16.5 to go. I'm wondering if Sean's going to bring that car into pit road. It looks very tight now, and he's knocked the wall down a few times. There might be some tire rubs. So your points leader up there in a top 15 spot, and now he's falling back into the 30s. See right there, falling by the 50, the 60, the 30. He might join Marcus Sachi and Derek Hamill back here in a minute. Canto back onto the back bumper now, the 51 car. You know what John Gambit would love to see? These two start battling, because once they get side by side, it's going to slow them both down. Gambit can try and close in, and maybe he can make the pass on both of them. Well, he obviously wouldn't make a pass on both of them at once, because that's very hard to do here at Darlington. 3 wide would not work anywhere on this track. It's very, very tight. Canto with a peak. Car rotating well. Gary possibly falling off because of the tire wear just a little bit. Jay Jefferson has moved away in 4th. The battle is for 5th. Luke Rainey trying to hold off Jake Richardson there in the number 88 car. Canto once again cuts it to the bottom lane, showing Tim Gary that he is faster. Possibly doing what Gary did to Patrick Smith just earlier in this race. Showing that he has a faster car and showing that I could possibly bump you out of the way if you don't get out of the way, because here comes John Gambit. He obviously doesn't want Gambit to get up to his back bumper because he also has a fast car. He qualified 2nd. And Jay Jefferson has caught these front 3. Watch for him to try and make a move. He needs to win to get into the chase. 13 laps to go here at Darlington. Tim Gary still leads. He has 3 cars trailing him and then 5th on back in a tight pack. Canto once again with a run. This time he gets underneath Tim Gary. No, he had to let off. And that's really going to help John Gambit. Look at the run he has down the backstretch. John Gambit and Jay Jefferson are coming. But do they have time to get by the 14 and then get by the 51? They have to hope the 14 gets underneath the 51. They can both get by that 51, and then they can try and work on the 14. 12 laps to go. Getting tense here at Darlington. Chase hopes on the line. We shouldn't catch any lap cars. If we do, they shouldn't really be that slow. See, Levi Jones has fallen back into the 30s. Not what he wants out of this take. See, most of the field single file right here. Battle right here between the two Hanleys. JT Hanley was got passed by TJ. TJ trying to keep that position because obviously he wants that point, or those points in case something happens. Luke Rainey has finally surrendered 5th. Jake Richardson is working him over, and Luke Rainey is going to fall to about 9th, 10th position because of that. Canto wants to get back up onto the 51 car. 10 laps to go here at Darlington. Canto has to think about when he can make that move. He got tied off turn 2 last time. He tried to make the move. So is he going to do the same thing, or is he going to try and use a different part of the track to make that move? 3 and 4 looks like he's been a lot better than Gary as well. So if he can kind of cut it to the bottom off 4, he might have a shot down the front stretch. But once again, the high side 3 and 4 could actually be a good place to be sometimes. You get a good run off the top. See back there, Luke Rainey actually cleared Carter Friesen because of the top lane. Canto once again with the peak. Couldn't get it done. And John Gambit, Jay Jefferson watching this like, when can we make our moves? And then Jake Richardson, Julius Harrison hoping those 4 get into a big battle and they can close in. Great flyby there in 3 and 4. Can Michael Canto even make the move on Tim Gary? They run pretty similar lap times. One time the 14 will be faster by about 200ths. The next time the 51 will be faster by about 200ths. It's nothing major, the fact what their times are compared to one another. Nothing very different. Pretty much the same laps. Michael Canto going to run a little bit faster that time. Got a good run down the front stretch. And he ran about 300ths faster, so as we're mentioning, nowhere near a 10th faster than each other. John Gambit's also pulled away from Jay Jefferson. Jefferson starting to fade just a little bit in the 4th position. Maybe just trying to lay off, cool down his tires, and make a run with about 5 laps to go as we're coming to 6 to go now. Canto with a peak. Got tight once again. Man, if he didn't have to let off right there, he was going to be in a great position. Canto to the bottom lane, 1, 2. Underneath that 51, got a little tight down low. But can he hold it down the backstretch? It's close. No, he couldn't. 14 cars a lot faster, but can he make the move on the 51 and complete it? This time he has another run off 4. Tim Gary blocks just a little bit down the front stretch. 5 to go here at Darlington. Jay Jefferson's now caught right back up to these front 3. It's a 4-horse race still. Coming to 4 laps to go. Tim Gary trying to hold off Michael Canto. John Gammett waiting to see if Canto can make that move, because if he tries to pass that 14 car, it might ruin both of their chances to win. Here comes Gambit, though. He knows he's waited too long to make the move. 4 to go. He's going to get right back in behind the 14 car. And this will allow Tim Gary to pull away. Canto up the track once again. John Gambit down lower. Canto pulls the 43. He has one more shot at him. And that's going to be with about 2 laps to go, coming to the white flag. Now 2 cars pull away. Canto charging onto the 51 car. Now 3 to go. Peeking out of line. Trying to maybe worry the 51 to death. Tim Gary trying to make it a perfect weekend in the series that race. Pentel Truck Series, he won at Mosport. Trying to win here at Darlington in the Target Series. Coming to 2 laps to go. Michael Canto trying to run him down. 2 to go at Darlington. It's got to happen. Canto with a run once again to the back bumper of the 51. It's going to be a battle between these two, and then for 3rd and 4th, it's between the 43 and the 1. Coming to the white flag. Tim Gary trying to hold off Michael Canto. Canto trying to find a way around. Here he comes to the inside. White flag. One more time around Darlington in the Southern 300. John Gammett's got back up to the back bumper of the 14. Canto looking, trying to find a way around the 51 down the backstretch for the final time here tonight. It looks like Tim Gary is going to get 2 in a row in the Pentel Truck Series and Target Series off of 4. Tim Gary holds off a hard-charging Michael Canto to win the Southern 300 at Darlington. Here comes the rest of the field across. Points, points, points. Everyone trying to get every position they can. How about that for Tim Gary? He didn't have the best car, but he had the drive to win, and that is how he got to victory lane. He was able to hold off the 14, the 43, and others to get to victory lane. Let's check the finishing results. Here are the finishing results from the Southern 300 at Darlington. There were no caution flags, and there was 1 lead change. Two drivers led this race. Tim Gary leads the most, 28-33 laps to get to victory lane. He held off a hard-charging Michael Canto to get it. Canto ends up 2nd. John Gambit in 3rd. Jay Jefferson 4th, and Julius Harrison 5th. Then Jake Richardson 6th. Luke Rainey 7th. 8th, Carter Friesen. 9th, Jonathan Beefer rang up the top 10. Got Patrick Smith. So there's your top 20. See, Smith started on pole. He led 5 laps, but more importantly, he is now your new points leader after Levi Schoen's troubles. Good day for Evan Hunter and TJ Henley. Remember, we said they were on the bubble to making it. Hunter ends up 16th, TJ 18th, so decent days for them. I'm sure they will have wanted a little bit better, but I'm sure they'll take what they can get. Levi Schoen ends up 39th. Remember, he was running 11th. He got into the wall running the high side. He got into it very hard, probably made the car a lot tighter. It had a lot of damage. 39th, he loses that points lead. He drops in points. Marcus Sachi, 40th in that throwback. Not what he wants. A lot of throwbacks not getting the love they deserved here at Darlington. Now let's go look at the point standings. So 10 races left in the season. I believe there's only 2 before the chase starts. Here are the point standings. Patrick Smith gets that points lead. Remember, he didn't have a win this season. That's exactly what he needed. He has to get to that points lead and keep it. He has a 73-point lead over Max Anderson in 2nd. Levi Schoen falls to 3rd, 80 back. Luke Ray needs to get that points lead or win a race. He's right now 4th, 99 back. And Alex Stewart is 5th. They got Derek Campbell and Isaac Nichols looking for a win or the points lead in 6th and 7th. Jay Gammon 8th, Justin 8th, 9th, and TJ Henley 10th. So there's your top 20. See a lot of 2-time winners this season down there. Let's look down 21st to 40th. See down here some 2-time winners. Jeff Bright and Marcus Sachi. Sachi, 15 points out of the chase. Brayson Collins is only 15 in. Jeff Bright is only, what do we say, about 30 or 28 in? Something along the nature of that. So, my oh my. How this is going to change in these next few races. Marcus Sachi does not have a chase spot right now because he's 31st in points. You have to be top 30 in points. So now, as we look, if the chase were to start today, 2-time winners we're getting. So Max Anderson, Alex Stewart, Jonathan Beeford, and Steve Lark are all pretty comfortable or in. And they got Jeff Bright and Brayson Collins. That's 6 drivers. Marcus Hutchie would be a 7th if he were to get in. Most likely, if Marcus Hutchie gets in, Jeff Bright and Brayson Collins are falling out. So that's right now 6 in. And they got 7th as your points leader, Patrick Smith. 8th is Levi Shones. 9th, Jay Gamet. 10th is Justin Heath. 11th is TJ Hanley. And 12th is Evan Hunter. So Hunter is still on the bubble. Tim Garrett, his first win of the season, moves up to 12th in points, 52 back of Hunter. He needs to hope that either more two-time winners fall out, like Jeff Bright and Brayson Collins, that another two-time winner doesn't get in, or he has to hope that he gets another victory or something along the lines of that. So this could change a lot because say all 3 of those guys, Brayson Collins, Jeff Bright, Marcus Hutchie, fall out the top 30 when the chase starts. That would gain 2 more positions in on points. So it would be Tim Gary and Tyler Lyman. JT Hanley is there looking for a spot. You got some other drivers that are looking to get a win this season. Patrick Smith, if he loses the points, that's also another position in on wins. So then you go down, you find down here, oh, well, who would it be? Because no one would be above 30th in points. So go to the next highest guy without a win. So this can change a lot over these next few races. As you can see, the next race will be the Toyota Care 250 at Richmond. See you guys then.